secret number 2. I can do all this for almost free, and I only need a few satisfied patients or customers to make this work. Because one happy patient equals 10 new patients. And I'm going to tell you how this works. It's amazing. One of the best ways to get new patients is word of mouth referrals. One of the biggest mistakes most people make is they do not ask their patients to tell others about them. This is the best advertising and marketing, and everyone will tell you. But what happens is people go, oh, I need to do Facebook ads because Facebook ads are sexy. That's the new thing. Let's go spend $200 a month on Facebook ads that take at least 3 months to work. And you can't run the same ad for 3 months. But you know what I can do? I can go talk to the people that are happy and ask them to help me on my mission to save 20,000 people in Greensboro, and they'll start sending me people. So now's the time when I want to tell you one of those stories about my life, about my journey in cash-based PT, where it's like it's an ego hit. Okay, so here in Greensboro, well, you can see that's my 1961 Lambretta scooter right there. I love vintage scooters, working with my hands. It's kind of like my meditation to go work on my vintage vehicles. But I talked about my dad already. So my dad and his brothers came back to Greensboro in the 60s and early 70s and started to work in medicine with my grandfather and my grandfather's brother. So my grandfather, Sidney LeBauer, was a family medicine physician. My uncle, my great uncle Maurice, was a surgeon. My dad is a cardiologist. His brother Sam was a gastroenterologist, and my other uncle Eugene was a allergy and a specialist in pulmonologist. They built LeBauer. It had a bunch of different names for a while, but LeBauer Healthcare. LeBauer Healthcare grew so fast in the 90s that Cone Health Medical Group bought them and actually absorbed them. You know, they talk about bringing in another group to manage them. I mean, they brought in 40 partners one year. They ended up with 120 physicians, and this thing grew so big, it was almost out of control, but people had this need. Well, it got so big so fast, it ends up being absorbed by the local hospital. Anyways, my last name is on is on the marquee here. Here's my grandfather's name on the building. I mean, they went from this building to having all specialties to this building just being primary care. So what happens? I get out of PT school. My dad's like, Aaron, you need to go see some of the physicians in town. They basically owe me a favor. Go talk to them and they'll send you patients. Well, here's what happens. I go, and my primary care physician who works here, he invites me in on a Saturday. He's like one of the only other people. He's the physician's physician. He'll come to your house when you have pneumonia. He was working on a Saturday. This is the guy that his group had to wait till he was out of town to vote on not taking new Medicare patients, because he would have voted no. So we chatted for 2 hours. It was great. And he said, Aaron, why don't you come in and meet, or I think I asked, I said, hey, when can I come in and meet some of your partners? He said, well, call Janice, the office manager, and she'll set it up. Okay, great. All right. So I set it up. We set it up for 6 weeks. 5.5 weeks go by. I think it was Friday at lunch, and Wednesday I get a call from Janice. She's like, I'm just calling to confirm that you're bringing lunch for 63 people on Friday. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have a budget of Merck and Pfizer. I'm a small practice owner here in Greensboro. And she's like, well, that's not how we do it here. And I was like, but, I'm just coming in to meet with my colleagues. My expectation from Dr. So-and-so is I'm just going to come and meet with everyone. And we're going to, talk about our mutual patients. And I was like, I just kind of don't think, she said, oh, well, that's not how it works. We expect you to bring in lunch for everyone. And I said, well, that seems like that's not so cool. And that's a conflict of interest to me. I shouldn't have to come buy lunch for everyone just to talk to them for 5 minutes. She's like, well, that's not how it works. We're going to have to reschedule. And I was like, all right, peace out. She hung up on me, and I never heard back from her again. And that was one of the many instances. Well, that wasn't one of many. There were 3 other instances where I recognized that this was not a winning path. I mean, here my last name's on the building, and I can't get into talk to these guys about our patients without buying the whole staff lunch. I mean, I decided then and there that this is not my cup of tea. So cash-based practice number 2, you really just need some satisfied patients, and you probably already have them from a prior job, or if you're a student and you're getting ready to get started after school, you've probably got some satisfied patients from a clinical rotation. I mean, it doesn't take many of these people to get the ball rolling. And you can even automate this process. One of the things that I see as the biggest hole for most people is they're not automating the process of asking for referrals or asking people to share their story with others. Because happy patients and even physicians will tell their friends if you ask. Many people would do it, but they don't know you want to. There's that 1 in 10 or 1 in maybe 50 people who go and talk your name off to everyone. They talk everyone's ears off, all about you, blah, blah, blah. They're great. You got to go see them. But there's 5 other people out of 10 who will tell people, but they don't think you want to. So you got to ask them. You got to let them know that you want them to share the good news, because it's free and it works. I mean, you go look up any marketing website or strategies, word of mouth website works. You just have to nurture it a little bit. So let me give you a story about one of my patients, Maya. Maya came to see me with a shoulder problem. If she had gone to get an MRI, they would have told her she had a rotator cuff tear and you need surgery. But luckily, she heard of me from Tom. Tom not only sent Maya, but Tom sent probably 12 other people. Now Maya's come in. Maya gets a great result, goes surfing, sends me this picture, and sends in one of her colleagues, and then another student of hers, and then someone else. And it's like, boom, all from this person, Tom. I've got 12 people he sent in, plus one of those people sent in 3 other people. I mean, like, I just have one happy patient, and now I've got this bloom of patients coming into our business. So here's the new healthcare economy. Okay, so here's the old model. You pander to physicians. I mean, this is what I was taught. This is what was expected in school. Even my dad was like, go, they'll send you referrals. You buy their whole office lunch, beg for referrals. You know, I mean, because that's really what you're doing when you go, you've got 5 minutes. Hey, we're great. We can take care of people with plantar fasciitis. Send them to us. The physician might go, well, I do injections in the foot. Why would I send them to you? I mean, really? Okay, it's a bad idea. It takes a lot of money. Patients expect to pay a copay. What's the new way, the new model? Market to patients directly. They get to make the decision to come see you and are more compliant since it's their choice. You find out their why and show them the transformation you're going to give them. So their why isn't that my back hurts. It's what their back is keeping them from doing. What they're scared of happening if they don't do anything about their back. You show them the transformation that you can help them make, what they really want. Here's the results. Who can we thank for referring you to our practice? You know what? 40% of the people answered one of their friends' names, so word of mouth or Aaron. And then about 60% of the people these days are saying, we found you online on Google. Where do they find us online and on Google? Our reviews on Google or Yelp or internet or wherever, some people are finding us through internet searches, but a majority of people are finding us through word of mouth or our online testimonials, and they end up on our website and they end up in here and they've already been pre-framed that we're really great and we're going to help them. So how many patients do you really need? Because, a lot of people think, oh, I need 25 people, 30 people. We're going to do some math together, because you don't really need a lot of patients to make this work, to be able to quit your day job or your PRN job so you can go all in and enjoy what you're doing. So buying lunches for physicians at about 40 to 60 people, like I said, they said 63 people. Because I'm a physical therapist, I'm kind of healthy. I'm going to choose Chipotle over Subway. 60 people times $12 a person is $720. You add drinks and dessert, just 7 offices is over $5,000. And what people will tell you is you got to go back to the same place over and over again. You go once, you don't get to see everyone, and you got to stay on top of mind. You got to keep going back. Okay, so then what? I got 5 minutes to tell you how great I am. In contrast, you can see 12 patients a week at $175 per visit. And I'm doing this for math more than anything. Like, you could be charging a whole lot more. Like, we are charging a whole lot more than that. But 12 people a week at $175 is $8,000 a month, and that's over $100,000 a year gross. Isn't that awesome? Can you imagine if you could only see 12 people a week, which is 4 patients Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and earn $100,000 a year? Wouldn't that be awesome? So look, imagine if you could get just 1 new patient per week, or 2 new patients per week, maybe 10 per month, 15 patients per month. Or look, charge $200 a visit, or even $250 like we're doing and a lot of my mastermind students are doing. $250 a visit, we're talking single digits to get you close to $100,000 a year. Could you pay off or significantly pay down your loans, go on vacation, finally, because you have time? Because, I've got a long weekend now. I only have to see people 3 days a week. What if you saw 20 people a week at $250 a visit? So this is Derek. He was my first cash PT resident. And he said to me one day, he said, Aaron, I don't think you really understand. like the systems that you've put into place that make this thing whole work, And I was like, you're right. Like I do take it. He's like, you take it for granted. He's like, I can see you put in so much work a few years ago because I put in these marketing systems that get our patients to start referring other people, to leave us testimonials, to spread the word about us. It's not the only thing we do, but at this point right now, I'm not out actively marketing our business because the systems I've created are doing it for me. Here's Dan. Dan's one of the physical therapists I've worked with, and this is what he wrote to me. He said, Aaron, my cash-based practice is increased by patient volume 33% in the first quarter compared to last year, and I could confidently attribute this gain to marketing directly to patients. Like we just tweaked a couple things. I showed him a couple of my strategies, started marketing directly to patients, and his business grew by 33%. Can you imagine, like, what would your life be about like if your business could just grow by 33%?